Earlier this month, the ruling NRM party started its grassroots structural polls in the 72,000 villages across the country. However, in some areas, the exercise was marred by violence and claims of missing yellow books. The situation was almost the same in some areas yesterday as the party conducted its polls for leaders at sub-county, town council and municipal division levels. The party director for communications, Emmanuel Dombo, says the exercise has generally been peaceful with a mass number of party leaders elected.
And we have almost 3 million leaders of NRM who are ready to mobilize for NRM. Those are our foot soldiers now, and who are ready to campaign and explain the government programs.
But why have these internal processes often been marred by violence?
So the criminal nature of individuals is embedded and is only restrained because of the law and the good governance. So even in NRM we have a few individuals who usually take the law in their hands, and we have selected areas where we shall need to do a little bit more. But generally, our elections were more than 99.9% efficient.
Some of the confusion has been blamed on certain party registrars in some areas working for personal interests.
What brings a mishaps in registers is that some individuals want to own. Some people think if I can manipulate the register, probably I'll be able to compromise and get more votes, which sometimes may not be true.
Kagoma North Member of Parliament Brandon Chintu says violence cannot be attached to a particular party, but rather on individuals.
While we are traversing for votes, we make statements as political actors, and now your statement can incite and violence can occur. I think what we can do is that we should know, those of us who are vying for positions, do we understand the responsibilities? Are you taking it for a job? Do you want it for a service?
Henry Muguzi, a political analyst and executive director of the Alliance for Finance Monitoring, says the violence is perpetrated by the desire to gain power so as to access financial resources at the disposal of the government in power.
One of the most profitable ventures in Uganda today is politics, because politicians are much more richer than businessmen in this country. And therefore, because of that, the shortest cut onto the resources, to money, to wealth, is through NRM. So everybody wants to go through it.
He adds that the commercialization of politics has also compounded the problem.
And some of the people that are spending the money to be elected have actually borrowed it. Others have sold their personal, belongings, including depleting all the savings. And therefore, they are at a situation, they stand in a position where there is only one way, and that one way must be a win. Otherwise, win or die.
The NRM party says it has picked some lessons from the challenges faced in the first phase of the grassroots polls, as Dombo explains.
One of the major lessons learned is that it is not fair to use registrars from their local areas to conduct elections, especially where election is by lining. They either fear their relatives or they circumvent the law because of the traditional biases on the ground.
But how can the situation be reversed moving forward so as to ensure smooth internal electoral processes, and what lessons can other parties pick?
Is that we shall need heavier security than we had in the structural elections, especially during the primaries, because this election is bigger than the national elections.
Sometimes the teams of supporters can be more louder than the candidates, but those are conversations that we can now engage, and I'm very happy that within the NRM now we're going to have joint campaigns.
Political parties are supposed to be training grounds for future leaders. I think they should prioritize this message as they groom leaders, that when you come here and get to be groomed as a future leader, you are being groomed to serve, not to enrich yourself.
I'm Benjamin Jumbe, NTV Weekend Edition.